Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Arski. I'm one of the consultants with the CART Consortia, and I'm here to step you through the second session of Moving Forward series, and that is how we are going to unpack the curriculum document that was provided to us from Alberta Education. So it looks a little bit different in our version, not a lot, but we do want to take just a few minutes to step you through it so that when you get a copy of it, that you're able to use it to its most efficient manner. So what you're looking at right now is the actual document from Alberta Education. This is our curriculum document. It's the same color. It's actually the actual photocopy, not photocopy, but the download of this in a Word version. And the only thing that's different between the one that you would print off of New Learn Alberta and this one is that you will notice that our outcomes in each of the grade, the learner outcome row, has numbers in it. So just so that you understand how those numbers were configured or are configured, you will see a legend at the top. So the very first item before anything that you see is, in this case, a K, tells you it's kindergarten. If there was a 1, it would be grade 1. If it was a 2, it'd be grade 2, and so on. And these have been numbered all the way from kindergarten to grade 6 using the same standard process. The next one is the organizing idea. And remember that the organizing idea is in our first row that you will find in our curriculum document. The first word behind that tells us which idea I'm working on. And remember, the ideas have replaced the strand. So in this case, it's number, and N stands for number. The next one is the learner outcome. So in this document, this is page 1 of our math document. So this would be the first learner outcome that we would encounter in the process of reading through this document. So it's children investigate quantities to 10 for kindergarten, or it's students interpret and explain quantities to 100 for grade 1, and so on. So when we go through these, we look at which outcome is this. It's the first one that shows up in the document. And then if it has a number behind it, like a decimal, in this case, it has a decimal 2, it's telling you that that learner outcome had more than one row of understandings. So for example, here I'll note that I know that it'll have more than one row because it says 1.1, children investigate quantities to 10. Here it says 1.1 for grade 1, students interpret and explain quantities to 100. Here it says 1.1 for grade 2, students analyze quantities to 1,000. Because it has a 0.1, I know that this is the first row that I'm going to be relating to this first outcome. So there's an understanding, knowledge, skills, and processes all associated with this row for that particular grade. When I go to the next page in our document, I see another brown line. And all that we've done is inserted the same learner outcome because the learner outcome doesn't change. The only thing that changes are the understandings, the knowledge, skills, and processes. And so this is where the 0.2 came in. This is our second row of understandings. And what we're seeing is it belongs to the same outcome. Children investigate quantities to 10. Nothing has changed there. So this is how the standard numbering has gone throughout. So if there were 3 or 4 rows, then you'll have a 0.3, a 0.4. If there aren't, it'll be the second learner outcome and you'll see a 2, and maybe it has a 2.1, maybe it has a 2.2, or maybe it's just a 2, because maybe it's just a standalone learner outcome and it has its own row of understandings and knowledge, skills, and processes as well. What you'll also see in the document is embedded for kindergarten to grade 3. The gray components belong to the health and wellness component of our new curriculum, the phys ed and wellness. And this is the financial literacy component of that curriculum. So what we have done in most of the boards that we've been working with is that the teachers in K-3 have said they're going to embed the financial literacy directly in and embed it throughout as they're teaching their math curriculum, and then embed the financial literacy components of that as well into discussions that they have. So we have actually embedded the financial literacy outcomes into the math curriculum. So you will see it appear, and you'll see that it's lined up again with kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and then you'll see it again in grade 3 and grade 4. The numbering is the same. It's K for kindergarten, F for financial literacy, and 1 for the first learner outcome. So grade 1, F1, so 1F1 is grade 1, financial literacy 1, and so on. So this is where you'll see those components come up, and you'll now understand why you're going to see them in that document. So we've included everything that has to do with kindergarten to grade 2 financial literacy. And we see that there's a number of aspects of money that need to be addressed. And some of those aspects will need to be addressed as we move forward into the higher grades as well. So we might need to do a little bit of bridging there as well. Here's an example of a different idea, just so that you see how it's done. So in this case, the organizing idea, first thing that we see is geometry. So here I see KG1, so kindergarten geometry first outcome. I don't see a 0.1 behind it, so I know that everything below this outcome is the only understanding, knowledge, skills, and procedures that I'm going to see for that outcome. When I go over to grade 1, I see a 0.1 A and B. There were some exceptions where we took some of the understandings and we labeled them A and B, because we felt that probably the A would have to be done before the B was going to be really succinctly be able to be attacked. So we did separate those using the same numbering, but it will just say 0.1A and then 0.1B, so that you can kind of see how those goes. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of how some of these pieces are. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact us. These are your Zone 4 representatives. And if not in Zone 4, then you would contact whoever your representative is in your ARPDC local. Thanks, everyone.